Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Long Live the Queen, where hopefully we will continue on without being horribly murdered, but I am not going to hold my breath. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, what skills? Got a really good bonus to military. Got a pretty good bonus to weapons too. Maybe naval strategy and swords? Yeah, let's go naval strategy and swords. Alright, military, naval strategy, done! My lady, there are letters for you. Another letter from Bryony. Why does she keep writing me? We're never even friends. She says she's bored and lonely and she's looking forward to meeting me at Gwenny's birthday party. That's right, Gwenelle is about to turn 15. She'll be Duchess of Sudbury for real now. The other letter must be my invitation to her birthday celebration next week. Gwenelle and I were friends at school, and this will be a big event, but it also is a long way to travel. A lot of things can happen on the road. Go to Sudbury! It'll be good to see my friends. Alright, so... +1 angry. Alright, so... yeah, as long as I'm wearing the naval uniform, I have maxed out strategy. So I think... archery and sense magic. Yeah, archery and sense magic. Alright, so... archery... and sense magic. Done. On our journey to Sudbury, your carriage is attacked. On your journey to Sudbury, your carriage is attacked by bandits. You hear a distinctive sound of incoming arrows just in time to push yourself away from the window and avoid being shot. From the screams outside, not all of your guards have been as lucky. The attackers scatter as soon as your forces show signs of resistance, vanishing into the woods. The rest of your trip passes without incident, but you can't help but jumping at shadows. Gwenelle's party is lovely, not nearly as glamorous as your own upcoming birthday will be, of course, but it's still a major event on the noble social calendar. Everybody who is anyone is present. Uncle or aunt and your younger cousins are here, but Charlotte and her mother are not. Apparently Charlotte was ill. Aries, the Duchess of Lila, is present, but she somehow always manages to avoid talking to you when you draw near. There are refreshments and dancers and musicians and polite conversations, and one or two not so polite. Leek, Countess of Dis, will not be shoved aside! Mother, it's my domain now. I need space for myself. You have your own lands to manage. Just because you're of age doesn't mean you know everything, young lady. You need my advice. This is my home. It has never been yours. Before you can back away, their gazes fall on you. They wait expectantly for you as near queen to settle their dispute. Side with Gwenelle. You heard her. She's an adult now. She's in charge here. Thank you. Is this what your father will face upon your coronation? Cast aside without another word? He's not going to like hearing that, is he? A bit later, Bryony catches up with you. Hello, Elodie. It's so wonderful that you're going to be queen now. I mean, I am sorry about your mother. Thanks. But think of the opportunities you're going to have. You're so lucky. That's an odd way of putting it. Anyway, I was wondering, now that you're almost queen and everything, have they told you all the secrets? What secrets? Like, how to get into the old palace. I've heard it's packed full of treasure. Old palace? One at Cather Lake, where kings and queens of Nova used to live. I don't know anything about it. Oh. She bites her lip and frowns at you. Well, never mind then. She walks away. So much for wanting to talk to you. At the end, you all share a pleasant meal and prepare to return to your various lands. Excuse me for that one. Alright, so... more sports. Okay. Let's go. Swords and sense magic. No, swords and resist magic. The Duchess of Lila has sent you a gift. What's this? It's a cushion, finely embroidered with the design of a running horse. It's well done and clearly required hours and hours of needlework, but it's also fairly useless. That's nice, I guess. Keep it. Find a chair or sofa to set it on. Alright, so... let's see... I think... I'm not sure what would actually... Visit tomb. I don't want to visit tomb. I'm not sure what would actually be beneficial to me right now. I don't really want to be less angry. That won't be beneficial. Being depressed and afraid won't help. Yielding, lonely, cheerful. I guess playing with my toys is the best option. Alright, I'll play with my toys. Alright. I think... I go... Let's do... pole arms... and resist magic. Yeah. Pole arms and resist magic. Alright. The Duchess of Mead is here to see you, my lady. Hello, Elodie. I'm sorry to trouble you, but have you seen Bryony? Not since the party last week. She shakes her head. She's gone missing. She's not at school where she should be. I know she was unhappy, but I never expected. She was asking questions at the party about the old Novan Palace, but then she wandered off. I'm sorry, I really don't know. Oh no, oh Bryony, what have you done? She hurries out of the room without even bothering to say farewell. And I will play with my toys again. Alright. Pole arms and resist magic again. And then whole hog into swords, because sword fighting is awesome. Alright, you have unlocked a new outfit. Cool. Alright. Increased skill and power gives you innate resistance to mind-affecting magic. Cool. As you're walking through the Great Hall, a freak gust of wind suddenly blows out all the candles in the room. An omen of war and danger. There's no sign of where the danger might be coming from, so there's nothing you can do about it. Perhaps it's nothing. I seriously doubt that. Let's sneak out. Alright, so... oh! Wow, that's a big boost to Lumen. Alright, so let's do Sense Magic. Yeah, Sense Magic and Swords, like was my plan. Alright. Sense Magic and Swords. Done. Things have been so unsettled lately. Everyone's on edge. We need something cheerful. You could hold a tournament. What a good idea. Knights, jousting, musicians, all sorts of competitions. Everybody loves a contest. What will we offer as prizes to the winners? Employment. The winners will have the option of taking up royal appointments. It's a recruitment drive. Very well, I will draft the announcements. You leave him to his work. As you move through the hall, your eye falls upon a vase of flowers. Pretty, but apparently not getting enough water. The leaves on one blossom shriveled. Someone on hall duty is being lazy. Those flowers should be replaced. You continue up the stairs to your room, where a maid is waiting for you. My lady, a gift has arrived from Kegel. From the Duke? No, my lady, a merchant house. I believe it was sent with a shipment down the Kavala River. You tear open the brightly colored paper to find chocolates! Chocolate producers in Kegel usually ship goods down the Napa River, through Ursel, not straight to the capital. This merchant house probably specializes in something else and only traded for the chocolate. There is a little card with the box. With our compliments, the House of Kreliat. All of a sudden, your puppy, who is usually so well-behaved, growls at the box of chocolates and lunges at it. Bad dog! Chocolate isn't good for you. Silly thing, making such a fuss. Save it for later. Yes, that is the poison candy. I am not going to eat the poison candy. I don't feel like candy right now. Maybe later. Alright. Let's go to the dungeons. Alright, what other outfits do I have? Oh, right, the tabard! Cool! Ah, that looks awesome. There we go. Although... Yeah, I'll wear the tabard for now. Alright, let's see. Should I just finish maxing out my magic? I could. Although I'm not gonna... I'm gonna do Sense Magic and Swords again, actually. Sense Magic and Swords. Done. Alright, now I'm rather good at swords. And perfect at sensing magic. Nothing more to learn about sense magic. Okay. This week is a general tournament. Nobles and commoners alike have turned out to compete against each other. The people will be blessed if you participate in their games. However, it would expose you to danger. What do you wish to take part in? Mounted parade, jousting, fencing, archery. Fencing. Here the devotees of the blade can challenge each other to duels, fought out only for points, not blood and honor. You win your first match to uproarious applause, but are soon overpowered by more experienced competitors. Still, you did very well for your first tournament. All the winners are announced and displayed to great cheers. As near queen, you place flower garlands around their necks. All of a sudden, a man approaches you, the winner's platform. It's Kavan, the Earl of Io. In one hand, he carries an armored gauntlet, in the other, a sword. My family's blood is on your hands! What is he talking about? He casts the metal to the ground with a clatter and raises his sword, pointing at you. I challenge you, Elodie, a life for a life. He's challenging you to a duel? Doesn't he know you could burn him to a crisp just by waving your hand? Kill him with magic. Without a further word, you direct the full force of your magical wrath at the Earl of Io. There is a horrible scream and a smell of burning flesh. I decline. Kavan's sword falls to the ground beside his gauntlet. He won't be needing either anymore. After the tournament, a minor tragedy is revealed. One of the stewards apparently had an incredible sweet tooth and dared to steal a piece of your recently received chocolates. He had a sweet tooth. The chocolates were poisoned. Yep, there we go. When you ask questions, it turns out that the merchant house which supposedly sent you this present never existed. Someone has tried to kill you, but you don't know who. Alright. I must stay angry! Someone has tried to murder me! Alright, let's max out swords. And max out naval strategy just to be safe. Done. Alright. My lady, your father wishes to speak with you. He says it's urgent. Fine, I'm coming. Find your father standing over a map of the coastline, his face grave. Ships have been sighted on approach from Shangia, not trade ships. This is a war fleet. What? Within a week, they will be in Novan waters. Within 2, they could reach the capital. Then we will fight to defend ourselves. You can try to use the treasury funds to hire additional soldiers, but it may be difficult on short notice. Recruit soldiers. Fine, we'll do it. What about Talase? We can call on troops from Sedna? Send a message, but even if he agrees, it will take time for his soldiers to mobilize. You will need to draw up a naval strategy for our ships to carry out. You could choose to act as admiral and lead the fleet in person, but the danger you would be in would be very great. Unless you think your personal skills will make the difference, I would strongly advise against this. Direct the fleet. Direct defeat, yes. Because feet are going to defend us from an invading army of warships. Command the fleet! The risk is mine to take. You have your mother's heart. There is one more thing. I hesitate to ask, but invasion. This sort of disaster for which a lumen's power may be worth the cost. If the fleet could be destroyed before they reached our waters, many lives would be saved. I don't know any magic that could sink a whole fleet. I have to talk to my mentor. You find the Duchess of Ursula in her guest quarters. A fleet from Shingia is attacking us. Is it possible to sync with magic? It is easy enough to attack one soldier or one ship as a demonstration, but to obliterate an entire fleet, you will need an immense amount of power spread over a large area, more than any one lumen could control. If you tried to raise that much power yourself, you would die. Not could, would. So it's hopeless. We'll just have to rely on our soldiers. Well, no, it's not necessarily hopeless. let's see. I am going to... let's make me more cheerful. There we go. Alright, climbing. I think my climbing's good enough for this, but I'm not sure. Although what would be more beneficial to me right now would be strategy and logistics. So that's what I'm going to level up. Alright. Military, strategy, and logistics. Done! Danger on the high sea. Ships close in on each other, angling into range. Well, my climbing test failed. You take your position with a spyglass, watching the enemy movements closely and shouting out any necessary changes in plan. The Shanjians have half again as many troops as you do. It doesn't look promising. Your skill in long-range magic makes you as effective as a cannon and more maneuverable, but there's still only one of you. The eventual outcome is not in your favor. The Novan ships are sunk or scattered, and the Shanjian forces press towards landfall. So... because I couldn't climb the mast, what sense does that make? My mighty magical powers were not enough. Your grasp of strategy allows you to recognize when the tipping point is being passed and order your remaining vessels to retreat before they are all destroyed. This saves lives, but it means leaving the Novian approach completely unguarded. Many good soldiers were lost today, and Nova's troubles are not ended. Since you failed to repel the invasion, the Shanjian fleet will soon land, and their troops will begin progress towards your capital city. Your remaining soldiers will hold them off for as long as possible, of course, but the main strength of your military is being exhausted. Nova's forces' future looks bleak. Well, crap. I'll sneak out. So, what level does my climbing need to be? Like 70 or something? Maybe it needs to be 50 and I should have just leveled it up. Bonus to intrigue, military, lumen. Yeah. Yeah, let's finish up leveling resist magic. And then intrigue. And then go strategy. Lumen, resist. Strategy, yeah. Strategy, resist magic. Done! The invasion of Nova is proceeding. Your coastline is under Shanjian control. Soldiers have marched through villages, trampling fields, and frightening citizens. A diplomatic delegation from Shanjia has requested access to the castle to discuss terms. Most likely for your surrender. You lack the strength to hold off their armies, and surrendering now will save many lives. It would seem that you have no choice, almost no choice. Your fiancé, Duke Talarist of Sedna, has sent you a message. He does not personally command enough soldiers to turn the tide against this invasion, but his king in Talase is eager to discuss a formal alliance. If you flee the capital now, you should be able to evade the army and reach the Talasian border. Meet with the diplomats. Prepare yourself as best you can to meet with the representatives from Shanjia. You expect diplomats and a military representative, a general, or an admiral. You did not expect the handsome man decked in jewels who now stands before you. Who's this guy? The man announced by your servants as Togami, king of Shanjia. Oh. So the king just walked in. And he's a lumen, too! My dear young lady, how difficult this must be for you. So much responsibility at such a tender age. Don't pretend to be my friend while you're killing my people. Temper, temper, princess. After all, I am here to save your people. Bullshit! War benefits no one, don't you think? Such a terrible waste. Better to settle things in a civilized manner. A contest. A game, so to speak. With Nova as the stakes. Should I win, then your domain will submit and accept me as overlord with no further resistance. Should I lose, then my army will leave your domain in peace and shed no more blood. What sort of game? It is well known that Nova is ruled by Lumians, and as it happens, I too possess the powers of a Lumin. I propose a formal duel. My powers against yours. The winner takes control of Nova, the loser dies. your game by your rules for my life. That doesn't sound fair. The rules of formal dueling have been passed down for centuries and must be upheld. It is important that we do this by ancient codes. Why should I? If you refuse, then the war will continue. I'll sweeten the deal. If you meet me in the formal Lumen Challenge, I'll call off the invasion even if I win. Really? I swear by the gods, Nova will be free and safe. Why take the risk? You're winning the war. It's not your land I want, it's your crystal. To gain your power, I am willing to wager my own. Shall we begin? I can sense his power. It's so strong. I've learned everything I possibly could, but he's at least as good as I am. I don't like this, but what choice do I have? Accept his terms. Then I must. Togami explains the rules of formal dueling to you, including a carefully inscribed circle of wards which will contain the effects of any powers you wield, protecting bystanders from danger. And then it's time to begin. You trade attacks, one spell sensed and countered by another, reserving your strength as much as possible. It might almost be exciting if your life were on the line. You need to end this quickly before his experience allows him to come up with a trick you can't defeat. He's used to dealing with magical attacks, but he might not be expecting a physical one. Perhaps if you rushed him, you would take him off guard. Up close, he couldn't use any fancy spells. But what would you do then? You still have to use magic to win. You can't just grab him and bang his head against the floor. Perhaps you could focus your power into the shape of a sword and attack him with that. Or maybe you could distract him somehow. You could cast a spell that you can block. Magic sword! Motes of dazzling, shimmering moonlight coalesce into a weapon in your hand. Your first lunge, he dodges, rolling to the ground, but you recover quickly and strike again! In the confined space of the worded circle, there is nowhere for him to run. The final strike of your moonblade parts his head from his shoulders. You have won. Whew. I thought for sure I was a friggin' goner there. Alright, walk in the gardens. I need to walk in the gardens after a deadly duel, I think. Alright, so what do I need? What do I want to do this time? Do I really need archery and polearms at this? What do I need? Let's do logistics and let's do yeah, I'm honestly not sure what I should do. Let's go logistics. Yeah, let's do logistics and strategy. Let's finish off military. And then go from there. Once you've defeated the king of Shanji in a duel, the invasion was meant to be over. In practice, it's not quite so easy to expel a foreign army from your lands, particularly when their leadership is falling apart. The remaining Shanjian generals seem surprisingly eager to go home and left without a fuss, but a large number of soldiers have broken ranks and run amok, looting and pillaging their way through Nova just for fun. A number of royal holdings have been damaged and valuables stolen. Not only do you lose them, but you will have to pay for repairs. Well, it's a good thing I saved up a lot of money this playthrough. Luckily, the Duke of Sedna has finally sent some reinforcements to your aid. The patrols are small in number, but much fresher than your own troops. And the mere sight of them is enough to strike fear into the hearts of the renegades. Good. Alright, so let's attend court. Because I have a feeling that's going to be the most beneficial at this point. So let's finish off military. And let's finish off military and foreign affairs? Internal affairs. Public speaking. Let's finish off military and do public speaking, actually. Yeah, public speaking. Done. Alright, public speaking. Logistics. Time has slipped by so quickly, only 2 weeks remain before your birthday celebration and your official coronation as queen. Have you done enough to build a stable nova? Probably not. It is traditional for the palace to provide entertainment and refreshment for the common people when a new monarch is crowned. It is a rare opportunity for the poor of the land to dine like nobles. The size and scope of any such feast depends on what expense the royal treasury is willing to bear. An extravagant feast! Alright, let's attend court. Alright, okay, so... So, let us, train what, exactly? Public speaking and court manners? Yeah, let's go public speaking and court manners. Because that really seems to be the only thing that would... These are the only kinds of things that seems like they benefits me. I'm toxin like Sal from friggin' Futuramas. Helpses! Castle is buzzing with preparations for your upcoming coronation. Ministers press you with details for your favorite colors and flowers and so on. You really can't see the point of wasting time worrying about decorations when there's so much else to worry about, you silly girl. Others are more interested in the subject of your marriage. It can't take place until you're of age, of course, and considering all the preparations and the need to recover from the coronation, not for much longer than that. Still, it doesn't stop people from buzzing around full of ideas and suggestions. Let's attend court again. Yeah. I guess I may as well just stick with the same thing. Public speaking and court manners. Done. Because, yeah, may as well be marginally ready for my coronation speech. At this time last year, you were celebrating your 14th birthday. You were in the school garden surrounded by your friends. A teacher brought you tea and cakes, while a wealthy merchant's son wove a crown of flowers for your head. It didn't matter so much that you were a princess then. Your title was something for the future. Many of your peers would be duchesses or earls or the like someday, but not then. You were children. Your parents could not attend on the actual day, but they did send wonderful gifts, some for you and some for you to share. And a week later, they came for a visit, and your mother took you with her through the countryside in a splendid carriage. It was the last time you would ever see her. You wonder if, wherever she is, she can see you now. You are 15 years old, a legal adult. You have worked and studied and suffered and prepared, and now the time has come. You kneel before the priestess, barely hearing her words as she recites the blessings. She calls upon the gods to deliver peace, wisdom, and prosperity to you, and through you, to all of Nova. And then she calls upon you for your oath of rulership. Will you guide and govern and protect your people to the best of your ability, according to law and custom? I will. Will you, to the best of your power, uphold the ideals of love, honor, justice, and mercy? I will. Lords and ladies assembled, I present to you your undoubted queen, who has sworn you her loyalty. You have come to give homage. Will you do the same? One at a time, the head of each duchy approaches your throne and kneels to swear his or her servitude to you and your heirs. Priestess of the First Circle. People of Nova, I give you Elodie, daughter of Fidelia, your true sovereign. What say you all? Long live the Queen! Long live the Queen! Long live the Queen! Thank you, I will. The following year, Elodie and Talarist were married in a ceremony that threatened to rival her coronation for pomp and splendor. Once his daughter was secure on her throne, Jocelyn returned to his birthplace to focus on his duties as the Duke of Caloris. He soon became engaged to the Countess Siren. Following Elodie's victory over the Shanjian king, the public opinion of Lumians rose to a height that hadn't been seen in 100 years. Young children would dress up and play at being magical kings and queens. Freed from the need for secrecy, the Duchess Juliana and the priestess Celine were able to announce their shared magical powers and their love. Aww. At Elodie's prompting, the lovers pledged their devotion to each other in a private ceremony, after which Celine retired from the priesthood to accompany her wife to Ursel. After the failed invasion, relations with Shanjia remained tense. First came the reclamations and demands from the Queen of Shanjia, devastated by the death of her husband, which Elodie ignored. Next came the subtler approaches, the quiet gratitude, and the offers for alliances from ministers who were thrilled to see Togami gone. Elodie ignored these also, which was just as well, since the next thing to arrive was the preserved head of one of those traitorous ministers sent by the Queen of Shanjia as a warning. There was no sign of war in the immediate future, but there was not likely to be alliance either. Elodie's interest in military strategy led her to treat country management as something of a game that she intended to win! How meta of you, game. That meant building up Nova's strength to the point where no invader could ever threaten its sovereignty again, and thus Queen Elodie's legacy stretched into the future. Long live the Queen. You know, this game is actually pretty fun. Well, I guess that's all she wrote. Once again, guys, I apologize for the lost episodes, but it couldn't be avoided. Sometimes footage gets screwed up. Oh well. There are plenty of Let's Plays where you see people get horribly, horribly murdered in this game. I'll see you guys next time.